I wanted to share a few things with all of you. If you know me very well, you know that I love to write and I write a whole lot. And one of the ways in which I incorporate writing into my life daily is by journaling. I've been journaling for, gosh, a very long time. It's maybe like a year and a half, 2 years now. Prior to that, I used to always want to journal. I would be like, oh, I wish I could journal daily, but I can't stick to this habit that I want to build. And something I've learned recently is that I don't even think there's any point of like creating the habits because I actually feel that things should come from within. I feel like the moment you make something it's like this task that you have to complete, it just defeats the whole purpose. It's like if you want to diet, for instance, and you make it this thing of, oh, I should diet, I had to diet. You can pretend to diet every day, but deep down your body doesn't want to do that. I think the best way to incorporate something into your life is by finding ways to make it enjoyable. And before I used to journal, I used to always say, oh, I want to journal, but I just can't stick to journaling every day. And then one day I just started writing and I fell in love with it again because I've always liked to write before that time. And now you don't even have to ask me to journal. It's like I'm eating. It's a normal thing for me. It's like I'm breathing. Writing is like I'm breathing for me now. There was a time where writing was something that I had to force myself to do. So I just think it's interesting how I went from never journaling to now making it a daily practice for me. It's a part of my routine, it's part of who I am, honestly. And I want to encourage people to also journal as well. Like I said, not everyone loves to write. And if you don't like to write and you try to start a journal, it's going to feel weird at first. It's going to feel very weird. But I think to really incorporate into your daily life, you have to find a way to love it. I don't know how you're going to do that. For me, I think the way that it helped, the way I fell in love with journaling was because it was like an escape from my life. So that's what made me fall in love with it. But that's not even the point of this video. I wanted to share something that I have written in my journal because I just feel like doing that. And I love to personalize my journals because I just think, why not, right? So I want to show you guys my journals. I have four journals at the moment. Well, when I say I have four journals, I mean like this is my fourth journal. I've finished the pages of the other three. This was my first journal ever. Yes. It was very bland, very normal. And then the next journal I had, I was like, oh, I want to switch things up. So I got this. Yes, it's very pretty, it has flowers, and I always put a photo of myself on my journal because why not? And then this was my third journal. It has little stars, and this one also has flowers. I feel like all my journals have to have some form of like floral floral thing because I don't and I actually don't do this on purpose. It just happens to be what's is in common with all my journals. Like, look, flowers, flowers, flowers. Okay, so I'm gonna skim through all of them and share 5 things with you guys from my journal because I feel like we could all learn something, find something. The way I see journaling, right? If you are religious, your religion probably has a holy book. So for Christians, it's the Bible, for Muslims, it's the Quran. I see journaling as like a personal Bible. So in addition to whatever holy book that you follow, I see journaling as well, I see your journal as your own personal Bible. Sometimes we might forget who we are or like forget the whole purpose of why we're here or the reason why we do, what we're trying to achieve. And I feel like a journal serves as a reminder of like what we want to do and what we strive to be. In the Bible, for instance, if you have questions about maybe love, right? You're going to think, oh, what does the Bible say about love? Then you're going to go look up scriptures that talk about love. I feel like with journaling, there are probably times in your life where you were very well versed in different topics. So let's use love again. Let's say maybe there was a time where you were very well versed in love. Let's say that was like January 2023, right? And you journaled about that. Now it's February 2026. And let's say you've forgotten what love is about, or you want to come back to who you were as far as love. You can go scroll back to January 2023 and remind yourself of your principles, of the things that you want to do, like what kind of life that you want to live. So I see journaling as a personal Bible, which is why I always encourage people to journal. Like, you need to write. You need to write, okay? But okay, let's get into the main video. Let's scroll through my journal. Scroll. Let's go through my journal. Oh, damn. This one's a little, this one's a little, okay. So this was on May 8th, 2025. This was at 10 a.m. and this was at 10:13 a.m. and I was at this district that has lots of shops here in Kansas City. And I wrote, I really don't know what my life will look like in 1 year. I don't know who will be in and out of my life, but I do know that I am equipped and I have all it takes to deal with anything that comes my way. Wow, treasure. Wow. That's actually amazing. Like, I wrote that? You did this, Victor? This one I wrote on September 18, 2025 at 6 a.m. I was at home. All types of emotions should be embraced because they are pointers. They are the language of the soul. Anger tells us that our rights have been violated. Joy tells us that we are doing something right and we should keep doing that. Depression tells us that we are not living or expressing our life to the fullest and that we are suppressing our soul. This one I wrote on October 2nd, 2025 at 3:15 in the afternoon at home. When you say yes to a friendship, you're also saying yes to the possibility of being the receiver of their personal wounds. This one I wrote on October 8th, 2025. I was at work and it says, follow your dreams and goals out of love and not out of fear. If you follow a religion, do so out of love, not fear. Pray to God with love, not with obligation. Why not love a certain philosophy for its beauty and not because we think it's right or the only right way to think? This one is my personal favorite that I wrote a few weeks ago. Let me see what date that is. This was January 22nd at 5 a.m. while I was at home. And I wrote this: before the internet and photography, imagine trying to explain to a West African the concept of snow. They would laugh in your face or call you delusional. Meanwhile, snow is the everyday reality of someone in Canada. Just because you don't understand something or haven't experienced something does not make it untrue. On this one, I wrote December 1st, 2025. And I wrote this after I was scrolling on TikTok and I was just seeing a bunch of different videos that I didn't really like. And I wrote this at 10 a.m. while I was at home. It says, a lot of content or opinions we see online are from a place of fear. Before you adopt someone else's thoughts, programs, or opinion, ask if this person is speaking from their fears, from their experiences. Okay. I think that's all I want to share for today, but damn, like, I be writing, like, Shakespeare ain't got nothing on me. Yeah, but I just thought it was a fun exercise to share this with you all. And I think it's something that people should try to do at some points in their life. It doesn't have to be every day of your life, but I really think it's very helpful and important for people to write. Write. And don't write like people are going to read it. Nobody's going to read your journal. Like, no. Write for yourself. Write it like, oh, this is my personal book. Like this is my thing, you know. I feel like when I mean writing is kind of equivalent to thinking because you know you can think the thoughts in your head. You don't have to write it down. But the thing is we forget, right? I'm telling you, some of these things I've written here, if I just let it float in my head when I had those thoughts and let it like go, I probably would not remember them now. I won't remember all of them. I feel like writing allows you to archive your thoughts. Because think about it, you could have a thought right now, right this second. Tomorrow, you're not going to remember the thought you had right this second. But if you write it down, you're going to remember. So, yeah, let's try to write more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Have a good day, guys. Bye.